Now, of course, early on in the day, low voter turnout was pretty much something that many people observed. The streams at the polling stations were also very scarce. As the afternoon has progressed, have we seen any pickup in terms of voter numbers, and what's happening on the ground now?
Thank you, Malika. This is a very hotly contested by-election in Kibra, running into its 9th hour. And as you had mentioned, this wall-to-wall coverage, our afternoon sessions also continues. But to that question now, here at the DC grounds and in most polling stations, almost no business is going on. But about 5 minutes ago, I saw a few voters streaming in, those who probably had not had the chance of voting early in the morning. What we saw very early in the morning at 6 around there, because we had this broadcast starting as early as 5:58 in the morning when our senior political reporter, my colleague Chris Thairu, was here to begin us off. We saw quite a number of people voting at that hour. We saw others during the day casting their vote, and then in between the day the process has been slow altogether, because probably some of the candidates have mentioned that it's maybe because it's on a working day, and this by-election is being conducted on a working day, so most people are basically not available. But as you would see right now, just one or two people trying to get into the centers to cast their ballot after a very slow day as it continues to be. As you see, not much exactly going on here at the DC grounds, which for your information, by the way, is one of the biggest voting centers here in Kibra, in this hotly contested by-election, whereby the residents of Kibra constituency are seeking to replace their member of parliament, Imran Okoth, whom they lost to cancer early, or rather mid this year in July, a race that has attracted 24 candidates. So they are today making a decision. Is it going to be one of the 7 independent candidates, or the other party-sponsored candidates altogether? So nothing much is going on, just a few people crowding in different places, discussing what we are not yet to establish. Police appearing to have a good time resting under the sheds, relative peace being experienced, unlike what was happening during the day earlier on, when we saw pockets of violence here and there, a few people attacked. We saw Boni Halwale almost being attacked here, and we've had cases of political leaders accusing each other of voter bribery. Honorable Junet Mohammed just issued a statement on behalf of the ODM party a short while ago, when we saw him in that 4-paragraph statement to the media, whereby he said that they've sent some of those cases to police and to the IEBC, and they expect action to be taken, and they are decrying that they have not had word yet from police. But we understand that we saw the arrests of some of those people, at least 3 arrests that happened earlier today, whereby the arrests happened earlier today of some people who were arrested and accused of voter bribery and intimidation, as we saw in areas of Lindi and Mashimoni's quarters, and other fewer parts here in Kibra. So as we speak right now, businesses on the streets going on as usual. We believe those are some of the residents or non-residents of this place, and if they are residents, they probably cast their vote earlier on. So we are keeping an eye on all that. Yeah, I see 1 or 2 people once in a while getting into the polling stations to cast their ballot. But most of the stations we see are idle, and probably we expect pressure to be mounting thereabout between sometime after 4, 5, because we expect that the closing time has been set at 5 p.m. So We've seen a lot of strategies being put into place after that hotly contested, or rather that hot campaign that appeared to have been so much highly hinged on Jubilee and ODM. Actually, political pundits just laying it out there, making it look, or rather making it be perceived as if it were a race between the ODM leader Raila Odinga and the Deputy President William Ruto. Whereby Jubilee has fronted a football star, McDonald Mariga, and ODM has fronted Ken Okoth's brother, Bernard Okoth. So that has been what most of those political pundits have made it actually sound like, a battle of those. That actually makes this race very, very important. Very important, and others even calling it too close to call for any matter. Everybody has actually shown confidence that they are going to win this race. We saw McDonald Mariga in that interview that we've just played between my colleague and him, between my colleague Loft Matambo and McDonald Mariga, whereby he says they are confident that they are winning. When Junet Mohammed spoke a while ago, he actually says they are confident about the opinion polls that they have been conducting, that their candidate is also winning. So we are seeing people really, really confident of winning this particular by-election, but IEBC will have the final say on what the results look like given the low voter turnout that we've seen, and as all these 24 candidates battle for the roughly over 118,000 votes. As we keep an eye, that remains our major task here in Kibra, to just inform our viewers how things look like and what becomes the final decision and who becomes the person who carries the flag to become the next member of parliament for Kibra. Malika.
Thank you very much, Brian Obuya. Reporter Brian there joining us from the DC grounds, giving us a lay of the land. And of course, voter turnout, as Brian rightly pointed out in what we saw in terms of the images as well, is very low currently, 1 or 2 people streaming in. And it has been the case throughout the day, as we've seen. But right now, we want